night, everyone, and welcome to
Nice.
Island Fans. We're going to be talking about the past games over the weekend. We had some laughing, we had some very sad faces. There's a bunch of mixed emotions over the weekend. But we have here with me tonight, Free Donny. We have the blues and we have the postponement. So how we doing? How we doing tonight, fellas? Memphis?
I'm good. I'm good. Still waiting on Danny to get freed.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, Kwa, what's up?
Well, good for a while. They're trying to figure out how the EPL gonna fit in all of these games before or by the end of May for all these postponements. Boy,
Wha- What's good, Joe?
All is well. All is well, Probably dodge the bullet this Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Game
All is,
rearrange when sun fit.
all is well. That's fine.
Yep.
Sun,
well,
Sun will be
yeah, look
fit.
at it both ways.
Hopefully by
True,
then I've completed
true.
at least one signing. Plus, um, party will hopefully be back.
Xhaka
That's
will
fine.
hopefully be back.
Yeah, Jacka will be back, man. Jacka will be back. Yo, low key, no. Low key, no. Jacka masterclass. Yeah, check. When you really check it out, because the red card just start one chain of events is just sensational,
You
bro.
know,
And then
I
it's not,
heard something. Go ahead, finish up.
and then it's not even because of the fact that it was ruled as a professional foul instead of violent contact, instead of violent intent. It's a shorter ban than what it would have been. The only reason why he has an extra game suspension is because of the fact that it's his second red card for the season. So yeah, it all works out.
I was going to social media today and I saw something like that, and someone was saying it's a Xhaka masterclass for real because how can you have a North London derby without Xhaka? So it was funny.
Who else is going to give away the pen?
You
Yeah, but
know,
Jacques is special,
Yeah,
man.
what
Memphis
do you mean
O'Neal,
if I'm good?
O'Neal in the
What happened?
comments asking if you're good. Are
Yeah,
you
good.
good?
Yeah,
Okay, Memphis said he's good.
I wouldn't tell
You know,
you.
Shaka is in the comments saying when the game rescheduled, they're coming with Vlahovic and Bruno G and Tillemans. And then he say
Ashaka
a
signed
bunch of them.
Ashaka signed the Arsenal check on them. You see
Tell
him
you,
like
man.
Shaq seems to have the checkbook,
the
you know.
check.
But yeah, fellas, let's get a show on the road. Let's start off with the goal of the week. What do y'all pick for goal of the week? Tuka?
Well, I had three. I was speaking to Shaq this morning, and we were looking at Ward Prowse free kick,
Yep.
De Bruyne goal outside the box, which I mean that's almost customary De Bruyne, but it was still for me one of the
Still a
top
good
three.
goal.
Yeah, and Richarlison overhead kick
Yep.
in the game against
Okay.
Norwich. So these are the three that I came up with.
Memphis Joe, y'all have any different opinions?
The word pros for me.
I actually think the Ward goal was probably the best
Hmm.
goal. Probably, I think that was probably the best goal of the weekend. Honestly, when you
Yeah.
really think about it, I'm
I
trying.
would
There was
Yeah.
another goal, but I can't really. I'm trying. I can't put my mind to it. I think there was a goal this weekend. It was like a really nice team goal, but I'm not remembering which team.
this one
It was
now
like it
I'm
was
gonna,
like a one person goal, but it was a nice like the build up and everything to the goal.
Mm.
But I don't
I
remember
think
if it was it Wolves. I don't know. I can't remember which team it was, but
Mhm.
nice goal.
well yeah, I see majority rules Ward Bowes was a very good free
Mhm.
kick.
Yeah.
So I think that's just
Yeah.
a standout goal of the week. We have David Emmanuel here saying Arsenal not sign nobody.
Oh
And
my!
Well, if you name nobody, then obviously.
Wow!
Joe with the counter reaction. And David is here again saying Ward-Prowse free
Ward
kick,
Prowse
easy
free kick.
choice. Yeah, I think it was the easy choice of the weekend. We're gonna hop now to player of the week. Memphis, shoot.
Player of the week. Probably De Bruyne. Yeah, right. Yeah, De Bruyne can get it.
De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, what you saying?
The magician.
Ah, Yes, the little
Felipe
magician.
Coutinho
The
Coutinho.
little,
is
the little
Yo,
definitely
you
Brazilian.
can't hear.
player of
Hello,
the
he
week.
only played
The
15
boy,
minutes
now
or
I'm gonna
something
say
like
that. Yes, imagine the man play what
15 minutes
14
and do
minutes.
so much. Yeah.
I have more goal involvement than Sancho, but that's cool.
that. Is that just the one? A Fred assist.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not gonna do Fred like that.
Yeah.
um, oh no, the man got an assist and a goal. Good
It's
stuff.
Fred assist.
Coutinho got the assist for the going goal.
Fred
Okay,
assist.
one goal, one assist. All right, the magician. Yo, no, for me, and honestly, you know who is also a good shout? Um, he's from Aston Villa as well. That kid, Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Jacob Ramsey.
Yo, that youth
Hmm.
is a baller. He had
Yeah,
hundred
he
percent.
used to England.
I think he had 100% dribble success,
Hmm.
and like I was looking at his stats for the game after, and he had crazy stats. Like the numbers, everything was just up there. He had a really good game, and a lot of times he was the one who was really driving forward and
Hmm.
Yep.
getting the attack started. Real talented young player.
So, Kwa, what's your pick? Player of the week.
Um, I think Jack Harrison, that hat trick
Yep.
against West Ham.
Oh, yo, I didn't even remember about that. I
Remember
didn't
that?
even
That
remember
was
about
going to
that,
be
to be
my
Yeah,
pick
boy.
honest.
too.
Here's why. In my defense, here's
Mm.
why I didn't remember about that. Because if somebody tell me, yo, I bet you $100 that Jack Harrison score a hat trick, I would have bet five, and I would have lost because that came out of nowhere.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
Jack Harrison, the hat trick in the over the
Mm.
weekend, especially against West Ham, a top
Yeah,
four team at the moment, and Leeds still looking for points. I think I would probably edge him for the player of the week, especially I think in the Aston Villa game, Coutinho didn't get the player of man of the match. I think he went to Ramsey.
Ramsey, yeah, he
Hmm.
did.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I would give Jack Harrison for the player of the week. So last one, team of the week. So Carl, what's your pick?
Mm. Team of the week. I would probably want to say Leeds. I mean, with them having to fight now, it's a real scrap at the bottom for them. I mean, to come up against West Ham and they had probably about 4 goals minus that goal that they got chalked off for offside. But like, I mean, for me, they did very well this weekend, and I don't know what that would do for them now going forward. They can build on that confidence, try to get them a few points going forward, at least to stay off that relegation battle that's down at the bottom right now.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, sounds like a solid point. Memphis, what's yours?
Mine is the shock of the weekend because I think only one person thought they were gonna win, so I'd give Norwich team of the week.
Yeah, that's actually my team of the week as well.
That's a
Norwich.
very good call.
That's actually
Oh
my
yes,
team
you
of the
can't
week.
you can't
Because
forget Joe. Big up Joe for that result. He
yeah,
was
man.
he overcome the odds. When everyone was going for Everton, he went with Norwich. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think majority rules here will go with Norwich as for the team of the week. So let's jump right into the games for this weekend. The Friday kickoff, Brighton versus Palace. I have a question for y'all. Should Marpe's goal have counted, or it was the right decision by
Oh,
the referee?
yeah, because that's the one with the goalkeeper and him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know.
Okay, let me
Mm-hmm.
just start. I thought I
Mm-hmm.
thought that the goal should have counted because
Hmm.
especially when you watch the replay, you see that Jack Butland was going towards the ball, and when he brought down
Hmm.
the ball, he basically brought it onto Neil Marpe, and Marpe's foot
He
wasn't
wasn't in full
extended
control.
anymore. Yeah, he got his foot end up and basically folded back in that position.
Mm.
I mean, if he was outstretched, I could say, you know what, yes, little danger to the keeper,
Yeah.
but because his foot basically bent back into that, not outstretched position,
Hmm.
I would have basically given it.
That's a fair shout. But yo,
Mm.
I feel like in those situations, just based on observations, that is like minimum 75% of the times that the decision goes in the goalkeeper's favor.
Goalkeeper's favor,
So
yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
so I don't even know. It could have gone either way for me.
Mm-hmm.
As a Manchester United fan, I say it should have stood because if it was De Gea, it would have stood.
I see. I see. We have a we can enter De Gea into that like Xhaka red card agenda. That's what we do in Memphis.
Seems so. What's the joke? Yeah. So now they have
Because
a goalkeeper agenda apparently.
it's not the first time I've heard Memphis said something about this and De Gea. So I'm asking him. This is what's going on.
I wouldn't say it's an agenda, but it happens.
Fair enough. Newcastle gonna jump to the next game. Newcastle versus Watford. Two questions coming out of this game. I know Newcastle has just gotten, some money to spend and to spend on any player. But first question, does Saint Maximum need a move to a bigger club or he's going to be there and be the star?
Well, for how they're performing right now, he's gonna get that move in the summer because they're gonna get relegated. But even without the relegation, I'd say yeah, he needs to get a little move up, maybe to like a Spurs or a Leicester, or even I would say West Ham, but they're already kind of set.
True point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was hoping for the signings that Newcastle made. I was hoping that they would at least be able to stay up. You bring
Yeah.
Trippier, you bring in Chris Wood. So I'm hoping maybe that but it's a real scrap right now, So and then Saint Maximum, he's just so brilliant going forward. I don't think he would if they do get relegated, I don't think he would remain, as you say, in the summer. Possibly he'll be able to move to another club. So
Fair
yeah.
fair point. Before I ask you the next question, Joe, just putting up some comments here.
Hmm.
Anil saying, I'm just here to say Lukaku, Lukaku is whack. He's not a fan of Lukaku anymore. And he's back here saying, and he wish he never sees Lukaku playing for the club again. And worst signing in the history of Chelsea Football Club. And then he's saying, and we had Morata. Chelsea had some lot of flops,
I tell
striking
you.
Yeah,
Yo,
style.
more, but
Torres at
really,
one point.
with that Saint Maximin thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Personally, I still think that Newcastle I still think they're going to stay up for some reason. I just
Mm-hmm.
still think they're going to stay up because
Yep.
they're still not that far off,
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
right? So
Yeah,
I
that's far.
think they will still stay up because I believe
Mm-hmm.
the next set of games coming up are more favorable for them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
all it
Yep.
takes is for them to catch some sort of little farm,
Form.
and they'll probably go on at least a 2-3 game run,
Mm-hmm.
and then is after that is basically just to stay out of the relegation zone. With the Saint Maximin thing, yeah, if they get relegated, somebody else will probably pick him up. But if not, I think he should stay there because with the current owners, right? And if they stay up, once they stay up, the summer they're going to, that's when they'll really be able to get rid of all
Yep.
who they really don't want and all of that. And then I would like to
Mm-hmm.
think players such as Saint Maximin are who they're going to build the team around. So you'd be giving that up where you're pretty much about to be the man to go to a next team. And as
Mm-hmm.
talented as he is, I don't think Saint Maximin would be the man in most
Mm-hmm.
other
In
teams
another
in the
club.
Premier, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yep.
So I think once they stay up, his best bet is to stay there.
Yes. Good night, Monchi.
Yeah, Manchi.
Monchi here. He's saying Man United is social distancing. And I think Monchi sent a picture in the group about that same name that he has there. But one last question to touch on the Newcastle Watford game. When Newcastle played United and then they played Watford here, they went in the lead.
Mhm.
Does not closing out games going to be a hindrance for them on their fight for survival?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because yo, they scored, right? They took the lead, and then even as the game was closing down, getting even as the game was coming down towards the end, they were still so open, boss. Because I was
Mhm.
looking at it and I was like, yo, at what point is what's his name? What that manager name again? Um,
Anyhow,
Anyhow,
Anyhow.
yeah, I'm looking at it.
anyhow.
I'm like, yo, at what point? Yeah, I understand you score, and for the next
Mhm.
60 minutes, you're going to keep going, hoping to get that, that goal for surety. But when you get
Yep.
to the
Mhm.
70th minute going down
Mhm.
there, you start defending
Yeah, game management.
because yeah, game management.
that's
Because
true.
remember, even prior to that, there was a play where they were still attacking so much that
Mhm.
Sissoko got away with a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and
Yeah, he
luckily for them,
missed.
he kicked it
Yeah.
away. So I think that came back that them dropping those 2 points. I think it came back to poor game management from Eddie
Mhm.
Howe. At some point, you have to you're fighting for relegation to
I
stay
agree.
up. There is no
Yeah.
shame in putting all 11 man behind it and just locking down the area.
I
That's
agree.
right. The 3 points, 3 points is what you're paying for. On
Yeah,
top of
man,
the
the 3 points
achievement,
you're better.
if it's nasty, if it's beautiful like how City gets it, doesn't matter. At
Mhm.
the end of the day, it's still 3 points.
You know, I'm
And
a
Mhm.
good city in there.
and to add, if Newcastle managed to hold out that game, it would have been very crucial for them because what? After the
Mhm.
draw, Newcastle is on 12 and Watford is on 14 points.
Mhm.
So that would have been very vital for them in that push to survive the relegation.
Yeah, because that mean they had 11 points. So had they won the game, they would have jumped. They would have jumped Watford. So they would have been out of the
Mhm.
relegation zone.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yep.
we have we have Skill here saying good night to you, Skill. And yeah, so we already touched on the Newcastle Watford game. Let's touch on the Norwich versus Everton. Two questions here again. Rafa got sacked. I saw the news
Mhm.
saying that he stepped down, however they want to put it. But I have a question. Was Rafa at fault for the poor performances, or it's deeper than we think at the Everton club? Are they in turmoil at the moment?
I think me and Joe had a conversation about this in the PlayStation party the other day.
Hmm.
I think I think we were saying that Everton sold a player that got into a little beef with the manager just to
Mhm.
go sack the manager a couple of days later.
Uh,
So
Yeah, remember they sold
yeah,
Luca
Dean.
Digne,
Mhm.
who
yeah.
was one of their best players consistently
Mhm.
for a while, and then you sell him to a rival to then sack the same manager that you're selling him because of I don't get it.
Mhm.
yeah,
But I mean, I kind
Uh,
of saw it ending like this because former Liverpool manager managed
Yeah.
Everton.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
yep,
that's true.
yep.
I don't. The players actually wanted to play for him like that.
Yeah.
And and that's not the only thing. I saw something today while I was watching some football news that they were saying that they think the Everton club is on the rubbish at the moment because these different managers that they come in, they ain't no stabilization for them. And there's a lot of players that are playing under these different managers, and some of them really don't adapt to the style or is not that manager's favorite. So they say it's a bunch of mix up and down, wherever
Mhm.
it is.
Mhm. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Anyway.
we have JRT here saying it's deeper. They didn't really trust him because he was a former Liverpool manager.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but I don't remember who was saying it. Somebody was saying the other day that
uh,
um was no, it wasn't Suka. Somebody, or maybe it was Jamal. I don't remember, but somebody was saying basically, like they were giving another perspective. So what they were saying, right? Basically, you can't fully blame Rafa because you had Carlo, who you brought in, you gained the players' trust. Um, the club was supporting him, whatever he wanted and everything, in a sense, because I mean he brought in quite a few players, improved DCL, and then in the middle of your rebuild and in the middle of your project with him, where you've assured him, yeah, we will work along with you, we'll rebuild the club and get the club where it needs to be. In the middle of it, he ditches you, and then now you're bringing in a new manager to come in now and to basically pick up his project, bearing in mind he may not have the same vision as Carlo, and
Mhm.
expect him to just come in, use it, and make it work.
Yeah, that's a
So
solid,
I
solid,
think
solid
there's no
point,
more
there,
that we're
Joe.
saying that.
Mhm.
And I think that was also another way of looking at it. But at the same time too, I mean, bro, what was it? Like 1 win in 11 or 12 games? That's
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a
still
terrible.
that's still ridiculous.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had to get sacked.
I know, and
Yep.
to his defense and all, like, injuries wasn't helping him a lot. Honestly,
Mhm.
injuries
Mhm.
wasn't helping him a lot. Like I think that was his demise with his because if one star player come back, two injured. If two come back,
Mhm.
three injured. So it's like
That's true.
one step
Mhm.
forward, two step. Because I don't think there's a time where Rafa actually had his full every time
Mhm.
players full 11 with Andrew
That's tough.
Gomez, Charlton, Don Calvert-Lewin, Michael Keane, everybody, Luka Digne. I don't think there was a game we actually had every single body there. I might be wrong, but based on the injury list for the past couple of weeks, the past couple of months with it, I don't really see a full studded Everton 11 being put out in a Premier League match. So maybe that's the next factor that went against Rafa.
Yeah, but Monty, I don't
Mhm.
think that you're wrong. I don't think they ever had their full strength squad to go up like at least for 2 weeks in a row because they have been struggling about injuries for a very long time.
Mhm.
And one more question based on now, Suko, you can answer this one, and then Joe can
Mhm.
counter react because I know he said that Norwich would have won. Was Norwich win a false hope? They have what it takes to escape this relegation fight.
Moi, to be honest, I still think they will go down. I still think. I think it's just still too tight right now. When
Uh,
you look at it, Burnley 11. Well, I mean they're last right now. 11. Newcastle one before the last 12. Then you have Norwich 13. You have Watford 14. Right, and so it's so tight. In that bottom half of that table. Um, I think that was more like a a fortunate win because I mean Everton was just like very in some real bad form at the time. So I still think that they would go down. I don't think there's anything really that will change my mind much about them playing right now. I think they just got a team that's probably was just like really bad. I mean, like as Joe was saying,
Mhm.
what one win in 13 games. That's almost like relegation form itself. So
Yeah, true.
yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Joe, what do you have to say about this? You gave them the win. You think there
Yeah, I
any
gave
hope
them
for
the
them?
win because honestly speaking, it was just something where somewhere I just thought they were going to win because yo, as much as they're at the bottom of the table, right? There's also been quite a lot of games that they were unlucky not to win this
Hmm.
season. If you've watched a few of their games, there've also been a few games that they've played good. They just not putting the ball in the back of the net, and I think that's their biggest problem because then I'm actually here looking at the stats of that game, right? They had less possession than Everton, and they had one
Yep.
more shot, but less shots on
Hmm.
target. Because they had 13 shots, they put three on target versus Everton, who had 12 shots and put five on target. I still think they're going to go down, honestly, but
Hmm.
I just and then looking at everything with let's put it this way: them versus Everton, why I also ruled for them to win is that they already know they're in a relegation scrap, and they already know that it's very likely that they're going to go down. They already brought in the other manager and everything. They already know they're probably going to go down. While
Mhm.
you have Everton, so there's really no pressure on Norwich. They already know where they are and what's happening. Versus
Fair point.
Everton, where you're
Mhm.
struggling with injuries, there's an absurd amount of pressure on the manager, who is probably now in turn putting crazy pressure on the players too. So I just thought it was just that one half game that Norwich would win. Turns out I was right.
Yeah, fair,
Yeah.
fair assessment. We just have to wait and see how it goes. To the next game. This game included the goal of the weekend, as we said. Wolves versus Southampton. First question. Let me put it towards Memphis because he had a player that played for United that I'm going to compare Ward-Prowse to. Is Ward-Prowse a better free kick taker than David Beckham?
What? I'm gonna have to say at the moment it's still Beckham because Beckham still has more. I think only Beckham has more direct free kicks than him in the Prem, if I'm not mistaken.
I asked this question because there was this topic between debating between two of them, and someone was saying that persons would go for David Beckham because he has more fame and like his style. So that's why they
Mm.
would tend to go towards David Beckham and not give it to Ward-Prowse. Anyone here is thinking Ward-Prowse over David Beckham, or are we still sticking with King David Beckham?
Well, I think uh, how do I put it now? Ward Post has more range, and I think David is more effective at certain angles. Hence the name Bend It Like Beckham.
Mhm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think like once it's a dead ball and Ward Post is over it, keepers are like automatically scared compared to, well, I haven't seen David Beckham in his prime, but like watching some clips and seeing the way his free kicks are, most of them are on like the left side where you can actually say, okay, this is going up in the V. And they're actually like most of them that I saw like maybe 20 yards out or so.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Ward Pros where like you can hit them from a good distance and still give the keeper a little trouble.
Mhm.
But uh, as Memphis say, like he has a record, so record speak for itself. That's like saying who's the better goal scorer, Alan Shearer or Bravo. But then again, you have to look at the time span because how much games David Beckham plays in the Premier League, how much free kicks he took compared to Ward Prowse who just, you know. So it's kind of yeah, it's debatable. But for me,
Yeah,
I'm saying
so
in
I'm
terms
looking
of
at
range,
one,
there's
two,
more
three,
than Ward
four.
Prowse to me. Range and power.
Okay, fair
Just yeah.
assessment there. Fair assessment there,
So
Munchie.
wait, Moy, who is for you? Beckham or Ward Pros?
I like the assessment that Munchie is giving,
Um,
but if I just have to give an outright pick, I would still give it to David Beckham.
Mhm.
okay, so
Yeah, me too. Because I'm
can I
actually
chime
looking
in
at
with
the
the
numbers here,
okay, yeah.
and
I was gonna call the numbers.
oh yeah, because Ward Prowse has what
Played more
12,
games.
12, and he's
Yeah.
played more games because
Oh,
Mhm.
David
okay.
Beckham had 18, right?
Hmm.
And he played 265 games, so he has a 0.068 ratio, conversion ratio, versus Ward Prowse is tied with Henry and Gianfranco Zola. Ward Prowse has played more games than all of them. He's played 288 games with a 0.042 conversion rate. I mean, depending on how much longer he plays, he'll probably eventually pass David Beckham, but I still think even then, David Beckham will probably still be the best of the two.
Ronaldo needs to score a free kick.
We
Yeah,
all
if
know,
Ronaldo
we all know
scores
he
No,
one,
gonna
no.
work
he
for
If
that.
goes
Ronaldo
on.
scores a free kick, he levels Ward Pros with a lot less
12.
games.
Yeah, 212 games. So that's way
What?
less games.
Question, fellas. This is just for the Premier League, or this is just Premier League free
Yeah,
kicks we
Just Premier
talking about?
League. Yeah,
that's Premier League.
Okay.
just Premier League.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Sokwa, let me address this question to you. Bruno Lage, I'm thinking, y'all can correct me if I'm saying it wrong. The
Correct.
Wolves code. Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
Bruno Lage and Wolves. Do they
Hmm.
have what it takes to finish in the top six and get that European spot?
Let me see, because right now, as it stand, they're they're eighth
Yeah,
with about
they have
2 games.
31. Yeah,
Yeah, they've got 2 games in hand, but the thing about it all depends upon what happens with the Arsenal and Spurs fixtures as well. So as you know, what games in hand can be like. So I mean, they've been, their form hasn't been bad. Um, Going forward, I think that's the first time that they have scored more than 1 goal in a long time. They're very strong defensively, so I think that augurs well for them. If that's going to give them a chance, they have a very good goalkeeper. He's showing that some serious form this season. Um, Connor Cody and the other attacking fullbacks look pretty good. So I think they're in for a shout, but again, it will depend on the games in hand. So it's kind of hard to really say right now until when everybody has played the same amount of games. But I think they can do so.
yeah, something to say, Manchi. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they will because
Mhm.
Troy always scored.
It was a tap in.
Everybody tell
It
Troy
doesn't
always
count.
scored, right? And I just when I checked my phone early up today, I saw a notification. Wolves eventually signed a next Portuguese winger.
Mhm.
They did.
So what is Wolves and Portuguese players? What's it with Wolves and Portuguese players? Anybody can answer?
Mm.
Is there
They love.
owner Portuguese?
Is there
I
what?
Wolves
I think
owner.
he is.
They
Yeah.
have a agreement with Jorge Mendes, who's the Portuguese agent. So he tries to get young Portuguese talent into England by using Wolves.
Okay. So
Okay.
but the Portuguese winger this time, his name is Chiquin Chiquinho or something like that. So I'm guessing he's a replacement for Traore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Possibility because I know he have strong links to Tottenham at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe they prepare. But
But they have a lot of wingers already. They have Podence, Neto,
Mhm.
Trincao.
Trincao.
Think
Mhm.
I think
Who
I was on
else?
loan, ain't it?
Is he?
Think so. I
no,
don't
they
think
didn't.
Barcelona. No,
Let
he's
me
on loan.
see.
Yeah.
The man signed a 21-year-old from Mali News,
Mhm.
Chiquinho. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
maybe
that's
maybe
that's
he's
good.
the, maybe he's the Traore replacement. I mean, once he has the pace, it's almost impossible for him to be worse than Traore. So upgrade if you ask me. The one thing though, when it comes to holding up the ball and fighting, you're not gonna really find much people better than Traore at that. Just lacks
Uh,
the end.
and we have a question here. So everybody can just jump in and give the who they pick taking
Even
Traore
question.
or Trincao. Who you taking Memphis?
Um, if I had to take one of them, I'd probably say
Yeah.
take Traore.
Okay. So quoi?
I would still, yeah, I would give Trier an edge over him. Just
Joe?
because of his experience, not
Oh,
not by much.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I'd actually go with him too over Trinko, to be
Mhm.
honest.
Mhm.
I have
Okay.
nothing
Monty,
against Chico, but I think Choro edges him.
Oh my. We'll come to okay. We taking them based on what? Like our team or like as individuals? Because it's for our team now.
individual.
It's for our team now. Think how can City very fine. Shall we go play? Maybe right back we can go play. Because Pep now go on like you have to answer that when you play for Pep. So if it's overall, oh my Joe holy head. But that's just oh my that's why I'm saying oh gosh.
Mhm.
If it's overall, um ah, yo, I like Trinko. He's flary. And I
Mhm.
think like under
Yeah.
a better manager car. Where they signing from?
Barca.
No, no.
And he wasn't getting a flair. I didn't even think he played 20 games for Barca per se. So I don't think his full potential there, but seeing him play, like if you watch highlights of him, although they say highlights is there
Mhm.
when it's a good part, but you can see his technical ability and he's left footed. He's smooth
Mhm.
and he has end product.
He's
So
good now, but it's out of the two, and like I personally wouldn't take either go Podence or Neto.
Put, yo, I don't even think if you're putting Prudence in the argument, I don't think anybody else is in the argument. For me personally, that youth
That's
is crazy good.
yeah.
Prudence is crazy good, but he just injury prone. But
and
then,
he
yo,
should
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying with Trinko and Munchie. But then, for me, why I chose Traore is just more because, like Suka said, because of the experience. Because then
Mhm.
I get Traore, I know exactly what I am getting. And honestly speaking, even Traore, as bad as Traore is, if Traore can get Traore is still very young, y'all know that, right?
yeah, I
Traore is
wanted
like
Mhm.
20, like 24, 23 something.
Mhm.
Yeah. 25. O'Neal is saying here.
Yeah, okay, yeah, 25. Because
And,
the
and
Traore,
Trinko is 22.
yeah, but then I'm saying with Traore, Traore is still at an age where if he has like a proper finishing coach and these kind of things, he can get better still. So for
Yep.
me, I bring Traore in and we focus on these things. But at the end of the day, you know exactly what you're getting with Traore. So I would go for him just as the safer option of the two. Not because I think he's better than Trinko. I think Trinko is smooth. I like to see him play.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
O'Neal has been picking Trinko over Traore, and he's saying that Traore hasn't improved on his end product. And I
yeah,
think it's something that we all can attest to.
Agreed.
this guy horrible on the end product, man. Like, this guy making
I mean,
damage.
based on what it used to be, it kind of has improved.
Yeah, it used to be worse.
It used to be worse.
Mhm.
Facts.
Mhm.
We know how that is. Let's touch on Liverpool versus Brentford. Munchie, I'm going to ask you this one because this one pertains to Man City also.
Wait,
Can I?
I didn't watch the game though, so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. This one don't have to do with watching the game.
Okay, okay.
I know what your answer is going to be, but I want to hear it still. Can Liverpool turn around an 11-point lead between them and Manchester City?
On career mode. I'm talking real
Yeah.
life. When you play career mode, quick sim,
Yes, Munchie.
maybe that. But in reality, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay,
So
so let me
I
ask
don't.
you a follow-up question. Let me ask you a follow-up question. If Liverpool was to reduce the lead, what's the closest could they bring the lead down to? What do you think?
If they play the game in hand and they win it,
Yeah, if they play the game in hand, they go to and they win, they're behind. They behind by 8.
so what's the process? 7.
Yeah, 7. Fair enough. What's the rest of y'all thinking? The Liverpool rival, Memphis. What are you saying? Can they do it? That's out the equation.
It depends on how they cope without Salah and Mane, because really and truly, if Brentford, did a little better, like in terms of finishing off getting better end product, they would have gotten some out of the game
Mhm.
because they were actually on top of Liverpool for the first couple of minutes. What's the dude's name? Mbuemo. If he did a little better, Tony would have scored. I think Tony had cut back for somebody, and then Robertson blocked it. If they got that past Robertson, yeah.
Mhm.
So the scoreline is a bit doesn't really reflect how the game went.
Mm-hmm.
Like Liverpool's first goal, that's just weird. The ball bounces in the box and then goes to
And then
Fabinho.
just goes to Fabinho. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yep.
what? But then,
Yeah,
and then even the Minamino's goal was the second or third goal.
the third,
And
like
that was the
Third.
Oh yeah,
third
Minamino
goal.
and
even
Firmino
that
playing one
pass,
twos in front of the keeper.
yeah,
Mm.
even that goal was just stupid. I was like, yo,
Yeah, there wasn't really a great talking point coming out of this game. I guess the only thing was just to see how Liverpool would cope
Mhm.
without Salah
Without.
and Mane. But I mean, looking at their team, they're still a very strong team.
Mhm.
And to get results, we expect them to still get it, rather even if it's from
Yeah.
Jota, Firmino, and they still have Firmino, that is still one of the players from
Mhm.
out of that big three. I would say. We see O'Neill here saying that Brentford getting relegated next season.
Hmm.
Jay Arthur thinks that Liverpool can bring it down to the most six. And O'Neill here is saying City is going to walk the league
Yeah.
from here. So from that case, let's jump to the other one. Yeah, somebody else was saying something?
I thought the
No,
league
oh
it
no,
was
was
I was
about
just saying that I
somebody else.
agreed on the Brentford comment because I
Okay.
believe
Yeah.
after this season, a lot of people are going to come in for a few of their players.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think they should yeah, they can survive. They're at 23 points. They're 14th with 23
Mhm.
with 23 points so far. So mostly you could say they're probably safe so far.
Yeah.
So we just have to watch and see how they continue with it. West Ham versus Leeds, fellas. I know last show we touched on Gerard Bowen and questioning whether he can be called up to the England national team or not. But the question I have here is he the star at West Ham? What
Well,
That's
what
recent form.
form?
On
Recent
recent
form.
form, yeah, recent form. He's been the standout player. He's been the standout player. Um, Ever since Antonio's form dropped up up top, like Bowen just picked up that that slack for West Ham going forward. So I mean, still have them in fourth spot right now, albeit with two
Yeah.
extra games. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even so with that point that Suko is making with the top four spot, um, are we labeling David Moyes as a flop? Uh no, not the word flop. My bad, fellas. As a fraud, as we've been using a lot on the show. Is he going on the fraud list, or he will continue this good season and keep them in the top four spot? Yes, Monchi.
well, to be honest and to be fair with David Moyes, like look at the cover players he has.
mhm,
There's no way you can put him on fraud list or flop list. Well, for once, he never publicly come out and say, "Hey, we're aiming for Champions League."
Fair
So
enough.
the actual team he has to say like he didn't went out and buy $50 million player, no $60 million
mhm,
player. He got some free agents,
mhm,
some basically some wouldn't say nobodies, but like some under the cover players like so far who knew so far.
yeah.
Structure. I think he got
Yep.
Arsenal for free. His only big player is Zuma, but not really a
Mhm,
big player, but a player who actually knows the league and whatever. So
mhm,
based on the position he's in and the kind of players that he recruited, he's doing really good
Mm-hmm.
compared to
yeah.
the other teams who have the big names and the big price tags. You understand? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
really put him on no for this. Even if he finished sixth, that's still good.
Mhm,
But
But
yeah,
boy, I don't know if you remember last
uh,
show when we were talking about David Moyes. I would have said that
yeah.
this is just his level, around fourth to
Mm-hmm.
sixth. That's
Yep.
just him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think he's a
it's fair
mid-table.
assessment.
Yeah, saying yeah, I think David Moyes is a mid-table and has always been a mid-table type manager. So honestly speaking, I think they're overachieving. So to call him a flop or a fraud would be kind of harsh. If they were
Yeah.
to pull off top four, that'd be crazy. I don't see it happening because that's my position. But um, yeah, you know,
Yo, Spurs
I
have
like
4 games in hand.
Hmm.
I like the
yeah. I
boldness.
mean, Manchester United can tell them about games in hand.
I still
So
have games in hand.
yeah, exactly. and I'm so happy to hear that
Pe-
based on the current form.
Wow.
The the peas are high. You know,
But
we
with the
have
two
O'Neal here coming back in the comment.
different, two different stuff. That's one.
We have O'Neal coming back in the comment saying if Bowen get called up to England, if he gets called up, England really is finished. Jayata is saying that no, he doesn't think that they can make top four, I believe. And O'Neal here is saying again he's a fraud, and he's back here again saying they ain't making top four. So he
Mhm.
doesn't have any high hopes for West Ham or their coach at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's jump to one of the big ones for over the weekend. We coming to you, Memphis. Aston Villa versus Manchester United. But before we get to you personally, Joe, I want you to unmute this mic. Here's a general question. That Munchie can answer, and yes, I'm gonna need Memphis 2 cents on this too. Will
Hmm.
Coutinho have a better season than Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho?
Yeah.
So, go on, all them seem to be running from the question. So you kindly go first, will you please?
Yo, oh,
um,
God.
you have to remember that Coutinho has been in the Premier League for some time. It's not that he is totally new to it. In his time with Liverpool, and I think Sterling was still there at the time with Suarez. That was a bad team then, but I mean,
Facts.
um, so he has the experience. Aston Villa, um, the way they play in the yes, the games they might drop a few points and so on. Their defense is probably not the best, but going forward, they're not too bad. And I
Mhm.
think he just adds that extra bit of impetus for Danny Ings and Watkins up front, especially because he's a very good number 10 in that role itself. So I think he can. I mean, and that's Sancho. That's Sancho's first season, is it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and Coutinho has more experience than those guys. So I think it'll be kind of harsh to compare the two. I'm
Fair enough.
looking from that perspective.
Yeah, but
Fair
then
enough,
what
super.
about the Grealish?
Or Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Well, um, uh, it's kind of because I mean, you saw that Jack Grealish and Shaq and I were talking about it. It looked like I mean, as Munchie had said to earlier, in the season, he was not a needed buy. I don't really think it really improves City really going forward because they had that much talent. They didn't have to spend 100 million. And I just think that Grealish, because I think because he's in that squad right now, he's not playing. If you look at how he was playing for Villa as opposed to playing now for City, he doesn't drive into the box like the way that he used to, and hold on to the ball and create like how he is right now. He has more stars around him, so he's like you have to share the ball more often, so he can't
Mhm.
really hug that ball like how he used to and cause things to happen and so on. So um yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, fair. I agree. I agree with that. But we have O'Neal saying here at the end of the season, Grealish will lift the trophy and the others won't. So I guess that's his take on why Grealish would have a better season than Coutinho and
Hey,
and
hey,
Jadon
hey, hey.
Sancho.
City, that just means
that
City's gonna have a better season than
exactly.
Villa.
We're
That doesn't
talking
mean
about the
Grealish is having a
individual
better
players. I mean,
season.
just stop it.
Yeah,
Just stop it and go
that's
on and
what
make
it
up
is.
your Lukaku and tap your eyes in our comment section, man. Yo, hear me say, right? The answer
See,
is he.
wait there, Joe. He continues here saying, need to stop judging Pep signings on their first season,
Wait,
and he
it's
says
it's
to just
Sancho's
give
first
it
season too.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's facts because he's talking about. You remember when Cancelo first came and a lot of people were saying that he wasn't good and that he was a flop. And now Cancelo
Yeah,
is rated as basically the best fullback in the world right now in current form.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, man,
I mean, that's why he's
these are
saying
the
that.
same intake
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's like what Super
Yeah.
said
Mm-hmm.
with Grealish is coming from Aston Villa where he was the system,
Mm-hmm.
going to Manchester
yep.
City where he has to fit into a system. So
Mm-hmm.
you can take some time for adjust. And honestly speaking, apart from the fact that he's not, apart, apart, from,
What?
apart
That
from the fact that he's not,
isn't it the same Sancho that scored against Chelsea?
apart
Yeah.
from the fact that he's not scoring and he's
Mm-hmm.
not, apart from the fact that he's not really getting that end product, he still doesn't look bad in the system. He's still helping to
Yeah.
create plays and spread the play
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
everything,
that
you know.
he
So
spreads it a little more now because he's not the focal point. But
exactly.
that's how
So
good a team City is. It's
yeah,
like he
so
has so many
I
options
still think
available
he
right now.
does. I still think he does a lot more than people give him credit for, and he's just not scoring. We're accustomed to
Yeah.
Jack Grealish being the one scoring that winner, but when you
Mm-hmm.
put him from
Yep.
Aston Villa, that's easy to win Aston Villa. The man is playing for
Yeah.
City now, where you
Right.
have KDB, the likes of KDB and so on. They are already firing, so it's understandable. But I still think Coutinho will have a better season this season than them,
Mm-hmm.
based on like Sugo said, his experience in the Premier League,
Yeah.
and then I think people are not taken into consideration that because of the fact that he's not new, but then he's also had the opportunity to go out and play in two other leagues and then come back. I think that has
Mm-hmm.
only made him better.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
he's playing for a manager who
Needs to play alongside him.
who understands him
Mm-hmm.
probably a lot more than
Mm-hmm.
any other manager would because of the fact that they've played alongside each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things Steven Gerrard said,
Yeah,
in order to get Coutinho firing, you just need to let him feel wanted and ensure that he's happy. And he'll play some of the
Mm-hmm.
best football you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people forgot how good this guy was when he was in the Premier League.
Top bin.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people forget how good he was.
Yeah.
Because even in the game he came
yep.
on for against Man United, he came on. His first two touches were some real heavy touches. And then the man just got into the game. And not just that, looking at him, I think the style of football that Aston Villa play fits him perfectly. And
Mm-hmm.
then looking at him with what's his name, with Ramsey and so on, bro, them man look like they've been playing together for a while. And the man has literally just came in and had 3 training sessions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis, you're backing your player in this debate, or you're
I
going with
mean,
one of
Sancho
them two?
hasn't necessarily been bad. Like my only thing is, I wish he'd take on players more because when he's actually taken on players, he's done a little thing just to get the end product and create a chance. But I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
United system. I don't know if it's this system why my wingers play like this because all of my wingers are like they're afraid to take on players, and when they do take on players, all they do is cut inside and shoot, and they don't even score.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Change the game a bit.
that's fair enough. Right back at you, Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Some of what was going on, for the rumors that was going on recently between Ragnick and Martial. Has Ragnick lost the dressing room? And yeah,
Did he have the
has he
dressing
lost
room?
it?
He had the dressing room.
Oh boy.
I'm just going off of comments that I've been seeing that he said that Marshall didn't want to travel with the squad.
Yeah, and then
Then Marshall
Marshall
basically,
posted said that told us so.
yeah, then Marshall basically lashed back and said that there was nothing going on. So something fishy is going on there. But in that case, fellas,
Mm-hmm.
does that signal saying that the manager or the coach, whichever one, however they put it, wants you out of the club, or is I'm going too far fetched about it?
Uh, well, the player wants to leave. I don't think
You
the
know,
manager just came in. I doubt the manager would want anybody to go just yet. So it's
Mm-hmm.
more the player wants to leave, but the player wouldn't, just say, I'm not gonna play. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he hasn't been there long enough to have the dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
mm, yeah. I mean, it's a tough. What, let me ask you, what do you think went wrong for your team on Saturday during the game against Aston Villa?
What went wrong? Well, I could tell
Yeah,
you in the first half, there was a player on Aston Villa, I think Esri Konsa. He was limping for half the first half, and my wingers refused to run at him. Like there was a time where Tellers was breaking down the wing. Konsa was the only person running back, and he limping while running back. He said Tellers takes his time, picks a pass, Tellers one times it, and kicks it straight at him.
Yep.
Like that doesn't make any sense. You have an injured player running you down. You have time to compose yourself and pick out somebody.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
anyone you all
So
have
that
any other thoughts on the game, the Aston Villa United game?
I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you don't want to just add a laugh,
I'll, I'll,
Munchie?
I'll, I could continue a bit because in the
Okay,
first
go
half,
ahead.
we were actually the team in the first half. Like even defensively, like Lindelof was bodying Watkins and Ings, and Lindelof is weak.
Yeah,
And Varane was doing his thing, Tellers was doing his thing, Dallo was doing his thing. It was just for the attack to link up. I don't know. Bruno has this tendency to rush plays. I don't know why. It's like everybody was just rushing, and there was no like plan or anything. It's like
yeah,
I
because
farmers let's do this now, 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 not actually do it. And
yeah,
Greenwood,
because in the second half,
ever since,
good.
yeah, everybody used to say, "Oh, Greenwood isn't afraid to shoot. He isn't afraid to shoot." Right now, that's becoming a problem because he's shooting at the wrong time. Because there were a couple of times where he broke away clean through. Instead of squaring the ball, he just took a shot, and it wasn't even like a decent shot or anything. It was just a
Mm-hmm.
little, you know. It was like me kicking with my left foot. You know that go.
And we know how that is.
Yeah.
Um, one last question to throw at this game before we jump into the last game. Joe, question to you. Rashford and Rashford and Greenwood, the young players at Everton, at United.
Mhm.
Is there too much pressure on them at the moment? That we're not seeing them perform at their regular standard that they should be able to live up to.
I wouldn't say too much pressure. I mean, the spotlight is probably on them a lot more now, based on the fact that they play for Manchester United, and obviously in the current form, nobody expects Manchester United to be playing the way they are. So there are more eyes on them, so there's more press and so on. But at the same time, to the two of them are professional football players, and especially Rashford, they shouldn't be new to Rashford. Because, like for example, the other day when Rashford decided that, um, yeah, exactly. Young Rashford is not a young player at United anymore. Yeah, he's still young, maybe in age, but the man has been playing for quite some time. For example, that play where Rashford decided to get frustrated and stand up, where he had the opportunity where he could have gotten onto the ball. Things like
Yeah,
that, you would expect that more from Greenwood because he's a young player. Rashford should be leading by example. Rashford should be leading players like Greenwood by example. You understand? So
yeah,
I wouldn't say is the fact that there's more pressure on them. I just think that right now them man just no good right now. They're just not playing good at all.
Not
I
at
don't know
all.
if it's egos. I don't know if maybe it's the extra pressure that's brought
Chinese.
on by Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
impress Ronaldo, I don't know what it is, but they're just not playing good at all.
I can tell you
Yeah,
why. It's because they're spoiled brats.
Well, that too, because they're accustomed to Ole that. Yeah, they're accustomed to Ole. Rashford will go up on the field and miss 6 1-on-1. And at the end of the 90 minutes, you see Ole a slappy panny batty and a rubby head and a tell you good job. So, you know, who knows?
let me just get to these comments here, Munchin, and I'll come to you. Yeah, they say Rashford rather feed kids, and
Wow.
he was saying nothing is wrong with that. But coach tell them man train later, and they beg. That's just some of what the fans are feeling about this whole Rashford situation. Yes, Monty, what I was going to say.
Um, well, I don't know if you guys saw the comment that Ronaldo made about. I think he was taking a jibe at the young players at United, saying
Yeah,
something about they don't want to learn or they
You
don't
don't
want.
like criticism.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think that in itself speaks about the dressing room, speaks about the the level where Manchester United are, and the rift between the young players at United, partly Rashford and Greenwood, because I think maybe they're saying, hey, this guy just come back, and because he was once a star, he come back 12 years later and believe he won the show. After all, some way him in there when we win game by ourselves, and I it's that kind of vibes going on right there right now, based on the statement what Ronaldo made, you know. So
Mhm.
it all comes back down to this when they say like if signing Ronaldo was a step up or step down, basically we can see that. 'Cause look at it, Bruno scored twice in the Aston Villa game. Ronaldo wasn't playing.
Some people let Bruno go twice.
Yeah,
Don't
facts. I was just about
let
to say that.
a good game, please.
Two goals he were given. Bruno did not do
Okay, okay,
anything
okay.
as a number 10 for
The
that
first
that's
entire
fine.
game.
The first goal, you believe if Ronaldo was playing, Bruno would have taken that shot from there, or he would
Yes,
have
he always
looked for
does.
Ronaldo at the far post to try to slip in Ronaldo. Tell me if I'm lying.
I wouldn't even say Ronaldo. If Maguire was playing, just put it back post for
Put it
Maguire.
back post to Maguire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Shaki in a comment saying back to this comment here, what O'Neal was saying about the training methods, and Shaki coming saying, but they were complaining about Ollie's training methods too. O'Neal back here saying, so sharp, they just love man, and then O'Neal is here asking, wait, what become of Josh? Jack replying to the
Let's go
comments that
disappear
O'Neal
like
is saying
United farm.
about what it is, and he's saying since that Liverpool game, I don't see the man gone missing since them whole 5-4. And Shaki say it again. Serious question: how are these players different from the Arsenal youths?
Well, the
Joe.
Arsenal
But yeah,
youths
yeah,
is at their club. Meanwhile, United
Which
youths
players?
are
Which
at their
players
club.
we talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Rashford.
I don't know, maybe
First,
he's
Right.
talking about the whole Rashford and Greenwood stuff and so on. I mean,
like
it's easy. It's easy to tell the difference. You're bringing in even Eddie Nketiah doesn't get much game time. You're bringing in Eddie Nketiah, Bukayo Saka, what's his name? Emil Smith Rowe, who've all come up to the same academy. So that makes it a hell of a lot easier for them because they've been playing ball together forever. And you have Martin Odegaard, who was there for a long period, had a good time, and came back. So it's nothing new to him again. So I mean, overall, the team just gels a lot better. And then, unlike United, who are trying to um, basically, in a sense, how to put it, like cover certain people's shortfalls and so on, and cover up even with sometimes with tactics and so on. Arteta doesn't do that. If you're not going with nothing, you're not play. And if you don't want to fall in line, get up to the club. Simple. I think United
Yeah.
probably needs to get back to that. If it's one thing with Alex Ferguson, that man was no nonsense. It doesn't matter who you are or how good you are. If you're not falling in line, you go. So yeah, that's probably one of the first things y'all need to do to get back to that.
Yeah.
So for the
Uh,
outs.
yeah, I can't hear back in the comments saying that Arsenal youths are actually young players. Rashford should not be a part of this conversation. So, fellas, Akani doesn't like to hear us
Yeah,
talking about Rashford is a young player. So, we're going to just
so the,
end it right there. Okay?
Anybody 20 million student kids. A big man that.
You have a solid point. Shaki is saying the United youth versus the United youth. They were close comparisons just a year ago. And
Yeah,
O'Neal
facts.
Baki is saying Rashford and Memphis are age now. He old. Well,
how?
Tuesday Memphis like you 40 or something now. What?
The guy.
No,
You know,
yeah,
all I mean, so if I for the Joby,
Bro. Talk so,
What?
why you talking so loud, King?
Why you getting Joe involved in this?
yeah, Lord, he drunk graduate from grammar school, right?
Yeah, I can't hear saying Tavares knows about getting taken off when he doing nonsense. Shots
Yeah,
being
Tavares
fired.
also knows about coming on and stopping
See,
11 man Liverpool from getting a shot on target.
that's
I
solid.
mean, what's that? 11 Liverpool. Like I saw somebody saying that United with 10 men conceded 5 and Arsenal didn't concede. United play with Salah, Mane. You know that Liverpool. Y'all played Liverpool's backup.
Bro,
move
the only
forward.
backups on the field were Minamino and what's his name? Most of the rest team were basically their starting 11. No.
Don't
I'm
don't
not going to sit here
it.
and have
No,
you
no, no,
downplay.
but
I'm not
Joe,
going to sit here and have you downplay. Listen, I understand that Salah and
Just
Mane are the deadliest players of the team or whatnot. I do not care. Okay? I don't care.
what
They
about
played.
Joe?
We played for 11 men with 75 minutes and they couldn't get a shot on target. I don't want to hear about Salah,
because who's
Mane,
taking the shot?
nobody. I don't
Who's
care.
taking the shot?
I don't care.
Who's
I don't
taking the shot? Who's taking the shot?
I,
And
I,
I wasn't down to 10. I was down to 9 because Maguire was on my field. Okay.
Hold a minute there, fellas.
Technically, no. Whenever you have a full starting 11, no, a 12 man on the field, no, because Maguire head counters 2 people, no. Just
No,
saying.
then since Maguire had contest, he can be 11. Hello. Yeah, Maguire can be. Come on now. Some off with that that's man. And come on now. Wait. Well,
Joe's gone.
Yeah, sorry about that there, fellas.
Good night. Moy them. Come back.
Thank you for bringing me back. Yeah. And Shakir was saying to counteract to the Memphis thing. We played with our party and Tommy,
I mean,
and
a regular
he
song.
said even Abba.
Carl Abba. Yeah, look, but y'all have look. You know this Arsenal's form picked up since they dropped Aubameyang. Hello.
Yeah,
Plus,
facts. Because you're not playing the one-dimensional football where you have a striker who is just looking to run behind. And that's honestly what it is. No, not even a hit against Abba. That is just exactly what it is. Like I said, brings way more to the team than he does. Aubameyang is just the better finisher, or at least was.
He should have
yeah,
never signed the thing. It's the same thing that happened to Urza. Urza signed the big contract, farm out though. That's they say Chelsea has the striker curse. Arsenal has the big contract curse. You know, Sanchez too.
Sanchez, no.
Signed a contract and then farm fell off.
Sanchez farm fell off because he was going back and forth with the club because he wanted to leave. That's why. So Sanchez, in a sense, Sanchez wasn't really playing for the club that much anymore. I wouldn't say Sanchez fell off because of no contract or nothing.
yeah, fellas. So let's just touch on let's say the game, the game that everyone look forward to this weekend. Let's just touch on how Monty gone
But it's a good thing Manchester.
when I reach that game.
That's
Hey, look at God.
But 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 yeah, so God, you're here as a Chelsea representative. The
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Man City game. Let's just
Mm.
start off by you saying what did you think went wrong for you during that game?
Well, you know, for that game, that Chelsea would at least to give themselves a chance, they would have had to have won that game. They couldn't have had any other result other than a win, and that was really asking a lot from them at the time. Um, I was hoping that at least they would have gotten one of those chances to have put away. So, but I knew it would have been that type of a game where it would be very tight. Um, but I never expected them to actually get 3 points from that game. Um, Knowing City is on the form that they are right now, and going back again. It's- Don't stop talking about Lukaku. Lukaku had, I guess, the best two chances in the game for Chelsea, but
I think this is where
that's how it goes.
United
And
fans,
then
Chelsea fans.
yeah. So the result was expected. I didn't expect us to have gotten 3 points in that game. 1 point for the most probably. Um, and I mean, even as tight as the game was, it had to take a lot out of them.
Hello, everybody still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, super freeze.
Yep. No.
Oh, Suko, I don't think we heard the last like close to what you was saying when you was ending off. So just if you can just repeat.
Oh, okay. No, no. I said it just took. Yeah, it just took a bit of brilliance at the end. Not often. I mean, I thought Kante probably would have taken, maybe we would have gotten that tackle in, but by the time he missed that tackle, that was it. When he put it on his right foot outside the box,
Mm,
that's just a brilliant. That's just a brilliant goal. I don't know if as they say, Kepa has short arms, right? But I don't know if Mendy in the goal would have been able to have stopped that one as well. That was just a brilliant goal.
I
So hats out to him.
Yo, but
I
you don't think that Westman could have done better to Super? Because my thing is right. You
Hmm.
Kante did his part, right? Kante, like he
Hmm.
already realized that he was getting a pass him. He tried to
Yeah,
foul him and bring him
he
down. And
tried
the
to
man,
foul him. Yeah,
yeah, the
at
man
that
basically
point,
just
you
ran
have to
after
just take a
him.
professional foul. Yeah,
Yeah, you understand? And I'm saying is
yeah.
now all the rest guys just my
The
thing
back
is
off.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
my thing.
That
You know who he is. You know what
exactly.
he's capable of. Nobody tried to
Yeah,
close him down.
that's it.
So I
yeah.
think, and I think that could have been the difference
Yeah.
between a win and a draw.
Hmm. I mean,
And
Foden got a good chance at the end of the game. Probably he should have
Oh
scored,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. That's true.
at the end of the day, I mean, that was really the chance that you wanted to stop that one. Once De Bruyne gets out on his right foot outside the box, guys like him,
Hmm.
Coutinho, guys like maybe like Ward Prowse, those guys can hit a ball outside the box on the right foot. You have to close these
Yep,
guys down because they just have that knack for getting like
yep,
the top
yep.
corner, bottom corner. You know, you have to close
Yeah,
them down
facts.
early enough. So yeah.
Yeah, and let me just touch on that particular point before I get to the comments because they're going crazy at the moment. With that same De Bruyne goal, I see everyone is trying to put like a blame on Kepa because it's not Mendy in the goal also.
Hmm.
Because I saw Shea Given was actually pointing it out that he made a step to his left. That
Hmm.
kind of threw him off before he actually made the dive. But in my opinion, I think that when up to the time De Bruyne hesitated before he even took the shot. And I
Hmm.
think it was Thiago Silva and someone else that was around him that didn't even make a challenge to him. I think even self they
Hmm.
managed to put a foot there that could have even self thrown De Bruyne
Hmm.
away off.
Even
So that
Hmm.
Kovacic was running
yeah,
back and he wasn't run. He like he was running back and he was close enough that if he was actually running with intent, he could have at
Mm-hmm.
least, put off the shot in a sense. But nobody
Yeah,
did anything.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and let me just go to the comments here quickly that O'Neil is saying Lukaku is awful. He don't press, he don't score, he can't pass, he can't hold up the play, he can win an aerial duel versus John Stones. I think
Can't.
that's
That's
probably
what he
the only.
can't.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what he
he
can't.
can't. Yeah,
Can't.
cause
Yeah,
yeah, cause I think Stones and Laporta don't 100%. Aerial duels won in
yeah.
that game. Giata said he's missing the drop with Dale. And O'Neil is back here saying, but he out here giving interviews. Inter- Interview man need to go. We should sell in the summer. And Giata is saying Kepa did good
Yeah, I find
for doing the
he had a
game.
good game.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and Silver moved out
Moved
of
out
the
to
way.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I really think that what is what. I mean, much before I come to you, let me just touch on the Chelsea aspect while we're there still. Kepa kept really good. He managed to save that shot from Grealish. That I
Mhm.
personally think Grealish could have tried to do better than, but it was a very good save. I must give him props. But the only thing that he tried to be cool, calm, and composed on his distribution, but he doesn't have the best of distribution. But he still managed to get it out of the way, so it's not really much pressure applied to him. And O'Neil here is agreeing with us, saying Kepa had a
Mm,
good
Kepa had a
game.
good game.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and yeah, Monchi, your turn. Let's say the Man City point of view. What
Yeah.
went good for this game?
Wait, hold on there. Pause before Munchie start. Did not tell me that Munchie intentionally left so he can change his name.
I was supposed to mention that, thanks, Joe. Yes, Monchi. I think before you start talking, you should let the fans and everyone else on here know what's the meaning behind of that name, the 60 million region.
De Bruyne.
The goal scorer of the game of the so-called top of the table clash on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning, Kevin De Bruyne. Whenever he scores against Chelsea, that article just been posting all
Mm-hmm.
over the media. When he signed Kevin De Bruyne, most of the Chelsea fans and the media saying is the $60 million reject. So yeah,
Boy.
let him know the 60 million reject did his job. Okay. So yeah, in that game, um, I'm sure, at least I'm 85% sure a lot of Chelsea fans held their heads when Kepa came out and I think kicked the ball in Aspilicueta and it nearly went back in the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I think they
Early in the
I'm
game.
85% sure that 85% of Chelsea fans saying, "Oh my gosh, we're getting five now." Based on that, just one little play. Tuka, tell me if I'm wrong. You're in that
Yeah,
85%.
yeah. I when when I saw it roll behind the goal, and I said, okay, then, But yeah, I mean, you think that from there you have just like a comedy of errors at the back. So yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. So based on the game, like the game was totally dominant. I predicted 2-0.
Hmm.
Foden messed that up. He rushed that shot. He could have even just slid it to Grealish to make up for his early miss. But then again, it was a comfortable game for Edison. Other than that, Lukaku save. That was common per se, because the way our Lukaku shaped up, there's only one place he could have kicked that the way how his body shaped. So I guess Edison that and the spam that way. Other than that, we haven't Edison wasn't really busy. Edison was more picking passes more than making saves. I'm like, put this guy in the midfield, Pep. Like, come on, give Scott Carson what they're doing, you know. Um, I was surprised with the centre back pairing. I didn't really hear anything about
Diaz.
why Diaz
Mm.
didn't start. I didn't hear anything like if he's not fully fit or whatever. But when I saw the lineup, I see Stones and Laporte. Although
Mm.
I have no problem with it, but I was just surprised that like Diaz didn't start. The fullback speak for itself, midfield everything. Um, everybody gave. I think they gave KDB man of the match, but honestly, like Bernardo Silva, my gosh, that guy, like that guy ran live Chelsea's midfield, Chelsea's defense. Like he was just that little pebble in your shoes. He was just that to Chelsea. And once again, City just showing that hey, not even City. I'm going back. Pep just showing that hey, there's two farmers league in the world, in France and in England. So I don't know where else he has to go right now to prove himself as one of the greatest ever. Kudos to see the clean sheet. All the best to Chelsea. Looking for next 6 points next season. I really want to catch you guys in the Champions League final again this season to show you that hey, been thinking. And
That's your
if
one elusive title. One
yes,
thing
yes,
that they bring Pep on for. Yet, so
yes, yes, yes,
verdict
yes.
still out there.
But just some little big ups to even Sterling. Like
Mhm.
that, that always Alonso. Alonso can't defend, but still
Alonso
he
can, yeah,
really showed up Alonso. Like
yeah.
honestly, he really showed up Alonso. Like Sterling was like, "Hey, just give me the ball. Let me just run at this guy." But he
Showed
had a
up
good
still.
game. Cancelo was at his best. Walker did his overlap. Like it was like there was no flaws in that game. Honestly, I didn't see any flaws in that game. City was just dominant. Just looking forward to mathematically getting the trophy once again. And yeah, we move on from there.
Yeah, Monchi, good assessment of the game. And let me just throw in my 2 cents here quickly about the game. Um, First of all, I have to big up Pep. I don't know if that was the main reason behind of his starting centre back pair, but I've been hearing that when it comes to certain games and Pep knows that he would be dominating possession, he normally goes with Stones and Laporte because Diaz is not really that much of a good ball playing defender compared to Stones and Laporte. So they said that's why he opted for Stones and Laporte to start the game
Mhm.
instead of putting Diaz in one of the preferred spots right there. Um, Big up to Sterling, yeah. No, I'm a huge Sterling fan. I love to see where my boy is
Mhm.
wreaking havoc on that side. Bernardo Silva shows why he's one of the most important players in the city team at the moment. Um, yeah, on a whole, good 3 points for City. Big up to Kepa too. I have to put that out there because he gets a lot of hate sometimes when it's not really there too.
Mhm.
It was good that he had a good game, not anything humiliating. And yeah, that's what I really think was my takeaway point from the game. Memphis, Joe, anything to add? Any last bits and pieces to add about this game?
Uh, Chelsea was just awful.
That's a good way to sum it up.
Um,
Yo, hey Messi. I could care less about the game. I expected City to win. Well, what I will say, Monchi, just a message for you, Moy. Tell Sterling Tamiyasu says hi. Greetings from Japan.
Hmm.
That
one besides
that
sends his
Uh,
too.
that's fine. I'll take it. Sometimes you need to go on a strenuous journey before you find yourself again. So just tell Tommy as to thank you and I appreciate it. Got me back on form.
exactly. I hope you'll be a starting right back next season. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
man. I hope Sterling come again.
If he's still at City,
Fucks.
like
But
He's not.
what's the thing? Suppose you're the Arsenal.
I mean, the last first he signed from a big team just treated the club like a retirement home now. So
Yo, okay. Let's move on, please. Moy,
uh,
Yeah, fellas, just give me we squad for time at the moment, so just give
Mm.
me who you think gonna win this thing because we have games coming up during the week.
Mhm.
Uh,
Uh,
Chel- Chelsea versus Brighton is tomorrow. Yes,
yeah.
tomorrow. Who do you are taking from this? Chelsea winning or Brighton taking the 3 points?
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Chelsea from
I think
Memphis.
Chelsea just by the one goal, probably 1-0.
Monty.
Hashtag Danny
I see a
Welbeck.
draw.
What's that, Monty?
A draw. I see a draw.
Yeah.
Joe?
1-1.
No, I expect them to win, man. Chelsea. Chelsea win.
Fair enough. And one more Moses going with thing. JRT here saying 2-1. I think he's going with 2-1 to Chelsea. Then we have the Wednesday game, Tottenham versus Leicester. This should
Mm.
be a very interesting game. What are we going with here? Joe, let's start with you.
Tottenham versus Leicester.
Yep.
Hopefully 3-0 Leicester.
Okay, fair enough. Monji.
Yeah.
Tottenham is gonna win because a lot of Leicester star players out. So
Mm.
I'm going for a Tottenham win.
Suka, what do you say?
Yeah. I wouldn't want to say maybe like a close Spurs win, but a draw wouldn't be surprising. Maybe like a 1-1 or 2-2.
Fair enough. Memphis,
Yeah.
what do you say?
I'm going to 1-0 Spurs win.
Yeah, fair enough.
So wait, so
Let's start
nobody
with,
think Leicester can win the game? Oh,
don't
what
think so.
is this?
It's Brendan Rodgers.
But the
Hey,
odds are
let's go.
against Leicester.
4-1 Leicester.
Let, let's see if Joe can be right again this time, like he did
Right,
with Norwich.
Spurs.
And then we have this one, Memphis. We start with
Oh,
your team here. United versus Brentford. Can you take a W here?
I think the last couple times we played the team in the bottom down there, we won. So I saw Pogba in training today. So hopefully the 2 CDM lifestyle is over and we actually play some football. So I'm gonna hope go for it 3-0 win.
yeah.
Yeah, Suka, what do you have to say about that game?
I think it will probably be a little tighter. Maybe 2-1 United. But I think United will get the win because Brentford really have been bad for the last couple. They lost 4-1 against Southampton, then 3-0 against Liverpool. The form hasn't been very good, so probably United to take it in a close game, maybe like 2-1.
Yeah, Monchi, what are you going with? Will United continue to social distance or are you giving them a victory?
Now the social distance is forever. But um if Tony and Mbemba, whoever that guy named the striker,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
if they watch this show and heard what Memphis saying, like Memphis gave him a little insight based on the Liverpool game. I think they can pull off a result, get a draw. But other than that, I see Man United winning, as Suka say, a 2-1.
Mm.
Yeah, gonna be a little 2-1. Scrape through, not no emphatic, comfortable 2-1, a scrape through.
Yeah,
So,
Joe, let's
yo,
end it off with you. What are you saying?
if Pogba or Ronaldo are back, I think United win. If not, I give Brentford a 2-1 win.
Mm.
How worth
Interesting.
it? Look at that.
Yeah, let
No,
let's
here's
see.
why, Manifest. All jokes aside, the reason why I give them that is because I honestly think they will create more chances than you are because they're going to win the midfield battle. And that's the issue.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
That's just what I see. I see them winning the midfield battle, and if they win the midfield battle, they will create more chances. It's just a matter of will Tony and what's his name score.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Pogba
yeah.
Van Dijk CDM the partner.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
Van
why I
Dijk
said
CDM.
if either Pogba or Ronaldo is back, yeah, we'll probably win the game. most like I think even more so Pogba because of what he brings to the team. But if not, I'm actually going with Brentford for win the game. Either a win or a draw. Yeah, I'll probably do the same thing I did against Aston Villa. Score early and then mess up at the end again.
Are we starting tomorrow though? So tomorrow Wednesday, yeah.
So you see, even more in Brentford's favor.
We shall see how it goes. If Maguire comes into the team and he adds any changes, we shall be looking forward to these upcoming games. We have midweek football to watch, so I know our football fans will be happy about that. Once again, thank you all for joining me tonight, fellas. And we're just gonna say good night from the Island Fans crew. We will see y'all back here again on Thursday.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.